to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss. We Ric Flairin' on them. This ain't no normal situation. This preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, prop at the top floor at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one.
What is going on, everybody? You already know what it is. Your boy, Scotty, back with another one. Listen, I apologize for my calendar messing up, man. You know, I went, because listen, I'm telling you, in that 5 minutes, I'll be running around all over the house. Like, I don't know. I like doing stuff at the last minute. Don't question me. I don't question y'all. I just like doing stuff at the last minute. So I'll be ripping and running, getting my water. So then I got back to my desk. I'm like, 4 minutes. I was like, I could have sworn I pushed play. And then I saw that my guy William Gray was like, dang, not the counter restarted. So I was like, oh, she was broke. So all right. So I was like, all right, let me get back to the show. So we here, right? So we here. Man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always, man. Make sure you like the stream and do all the stuff that you do, but watch my shoes. All right, listen. Going into some reviews today, I want to talk about some games that happened over the weekend and stuff like that. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, got some news we want to talk about as well coming through at FAMU. So we got a full show today for y'all, man. Call lines is open as always, 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124 when you hit a white lady. All right, so we in there like swimwear. Real quick, right? So once again, my son had another football game. He won. Oh, yeah, he won. They won 8-6. It was tough, right? And the thing about this game is what I loved about it was they're very talented, right? But they had never been in a situation before to where they had to battle back or keep the lead and things like that. So there was a lot of things going wrong. The quarterback threw a pick six that gave him a touchdown point. He was pouting. My son pouting. He ain't scoring no touchdowns. It was a whole thing. But they got to learn how to fight through adversity. But he had a big time red zone interception. Okay. And then he had a big-time third down catch to continue to drive, and they ended up running the clock out, and they won the game. So, man, it was a fun game, man. I love experiencing that. So that's my little story time for today, man. But listen, I'm telling y'all, the coolest thing about having a kid and even at this age is fun, right? Because everybody out there recruiting, right? Like coaches be coming up to you left and right, talking about, oh, is that your son? Oh, is that your son? That's your son in the lime green gloves? Like, you cannot miss him. He got lime green gloves on, right? And the cool thing and the thing that I love most about it is like people seeing his talent and him getting recognized for the work that he's put in, right? Like, I get when parents be like, this didn't happen overnight. Like, when my son first moved with me and started to live with me, he couldn't catch, he couldn't throw, he couldn't do nothing, right? But his dad was into football, so he got into football and he liked it and he got into it more. And then, I wanted him to play quarterback and he didn't like quarterback. He wanted to play wide receiver, which I play wide receiver, right? So, it's little things like that. So now to see all the hard work that we've put in to come to fruition and see it on the field, it's like the greatest joy in the world, man. I'm telling y'all. So if anybody has a kid, especially like a dad, you know what I'm saying? Like a dad and a son type of thing, or a dad and a daughter, anything like they take up because you like it and you see them grow, man. It's a beautiful thing to see. It absolutely is, man. So I thank God every day that I'm able to do it and I'm able to see my son accomplish his dreams in an elite way. Elite 15 coffee, top-notch coffee, better than anything you know, better than Starbucks, better than 7-Eleven, Better than Caribou Coffee. Whatever you get yourself some Elite 15 coffee, black-owned, veteran-owned business. You want to start your day, start in an elite way. Get yourself Elite 15 coffee. All right, now. Yes, sir. Now, listen, Linda. It is just funny to me how people and things get spread around and get said about a certain institution that, oh, they misogynist. I have never in the history of ninjadom seen somebody call somebody misogynistic and then after they fire a woman, go hire another black woman. They so misogynistic. They say, you know what? F it. We don't like women. Let's get another one in here. Let's get another one in here. When have you ever seen that? When have you ever seen that somebody hates black women in leadership positions so much that they go hire another one? That's another level of misogyny. I ain't never seen that one. That's different. That's different. I'm just telling you, this is different to me. This is different to me. It's just different. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. Somebody tell me something like, man, Scotty, they sure do hate women at FAMU. They do? They hate them? I can't tell. Listen, I've been down to Tallahassee. Beautiful women running everywhere. Beautiful women running everywhere. Never seen a day in my life that somebody at FAMU would not like women. But you know what, though? You know your boy got receipts. I keep them on me. I keep them on me. Like a 4-5 on the hip. I keep receipts for me. Like, you got it. Who said? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Now, the one behind the one is Fox News. You know Fox News. And Fox News says FAMU's AD getting good old. When you say good old, that means it's a pattern, like the good old boy system, like just something that, see, you can say something without saying it, but you're saying it. You're saying, instead of them saying they have a systemic issue with misogyny at FAMU, what does he hit you with? The good old misogyny, good old HBCU misogyny. We know what you was talking about. You was trying to talk about FAMU. You was trying to talk about FAMU. HBCU misogyny following Simmons' departure. Now, oh, she thought she wasn't gonna get got twice. Now, the girl below, she at Alabama A&M right now. She trying to act different, but she was on. Let's be very clear, right? She was on Twitter talking hella bad about FAMU, talking about they misogynistic and they ain't doing this and they ain't doing that, all that. Doing all that. It was crazy. She says no AD, just weeks before the season starts. Not sure what's up with FAMU, how they treat women in leadership. How they treat women in leadership. What? Huh? How they treat women in leadership? How that work? What? How they treat women in leadership? No, sweetheart. No, sweetheart. What you mean is how they treat unqualified women in leadership. See, your words is mixed up. You left something out of there, journalist. You left some words out of there, journalist, okay? How FAMU treats
unqualified women in leadership. You forgot. You said you was missing some words in there. But it's okay. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. See, you think these two, see, I keep receipts. I keep receipts. And you talk, now, from what HBCU alums be telling me, you're not supposed to be out in the public making those kind of statements against your institution. Because it's confusing to me, right? What's confusing to me is this. Now, you know me. I ain't no crazy HBCU all-knowing person. That's not me. I never claimed to be that. I never will claim to be that. What I'm saying is some of the most prominent people at FAMU are women. Like, let's not act like Miss Lisa LeBeau is not the head of the FAMU Foundation. That ain't no slight job. Like, you head of the FAMU Foundation board with the money, making sure ain't nobody funny with the money. Everybody care about their money, and you got a woman over top of that. So I'm not saying FAMU's perfect. They're not by any means. 10 ADs in like 8 years? Not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that FAMU, if you're talking about bragging different, you can't come unqualified. And just for the people in the back, because once again, I keep receipts. This is what I do. Just to remind you. Y'all think I keep this shit on deck. You be like, Scotty, I keep it on deck just for ninjas like Ty Floyd. Just for ninjas like Fox News. Stephen Randall Gaither. Okay? Yes, Randall from Recess. That's that nigga, okay? Stephen Randall Gaither. That's what we talking about right now. I gotta show you receipts because y'all not gonna believe it unless you see it. I know how black people are. You can tell somebody black, hey man, I'm doing really well at this nice job. I do my own thing, da-da-da-da. No, I'm good. You pull up running the S550, hey man, how you get that? Oh, put your boy on. Oh, put your boy on. Right? I gotta show you. I gotta show you to believe, to make you believe. So, Stephen Randall Gaither, Randall from Recess, right? Mr. Misogyny, because you brought that up. You said that. You wrote that. So, are we going to get an article? Are we going to get, I'm just asking. I'm asking for, like, ain't there like some journalistic ethos or something that you got to do? I ain't no Winston-Salem State graduate. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't privy. I wasn't privy enough. I wasn't privileged enough. So I'm just asking, ain't there like some journalist ethos or something that you got to come out and write a retract? I'm just asking. I don't know. It's me really be. Come on, Randall. Let your boy know. Fox News. Let me know. Stephen Randall Gaither. I'm just saying. Just let me know. If not, then I'm if not, hey, listen, if not, I get it. Okay, cool. I just wanted to. Come on, Randall. Let somebody know. Let somebody know. I just want to know. I just want to know. Cause you was champion OBG. You was out there champion OBG. Now she fired. Now they got the person they really wanted who's what? Say it with me. Qualified. Qualified. You know what we're celebrating? My divorce. Qualified. Listen, man, that Q word is serious. That Q word is something serious. Okay? That Q word, and she a Delta. Throwing up the rock, you know what I'm saying? And she a Delta. Shout out to the Deltas. Shout out to our chapter. All right? Shout out to the Delta BA chapter. Shout out to y'all. All right? Rep your sis. Your soror. I don't know how to say that word. Soror. sorority. I don't know. I don't care. Okay, just rep your girl. All right, rep your girl. All right, we in there. The last AD is also a Delta. She was an unqualified AD Delta. It's a difference. It's a difference. It's a difference. Y'all keep missing the wrong word. Unqualified. If it don't start with that U word, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If it don't start with that U word, if I hear somebody say Tiffany Dawn Sykes without unqualified, we not talking. We not talking. Serious. We not, though. If you say Tiffany Dawn Sykes 3 times without saying unqualified, we not talking. Anyway, anywho, let's move on. Just want to show y'all, just for the receipts. That's for you too, Ty. FAMU grad, alum. That's for you. Let's get into my week 3. My top 5 wideouts for week 3. Now, listen, I want to make something very clear, right? I want to make something very clear. Okay, hold on. My top 5 anything is not always going to be linked with production, right? Because sometimes it ain't your week, right? Sometimes it ain't your week. That just happens in football. Sometimes it's not your week. My top 5 is a little bit of production, but it's a lot of what I see. Remember, I played the receiver position, so I take wideouts very seriously. Like, I watch wideouts very intently, very closely, right, of just the abilities and the capabilities of a wideout and what they should and should not have, right? So when I do my top 5 of anything, just be very mindful. It does not always have to be with production, right? They're like, oh man, Scotty, but my God. Production doesn't always equal like you're the best at something. Like, production over time will, but not 1 week. You can have one great game 1 week, right? Because maybe the defense was trying to take the other person away. The defense left you open. You had a couple broken plays. It happens, right? That happens. That's football, right? Production over the season will make you stand out because they're like, oh, man, they can't stop you. Everybody knows. Like Xavier Smith is a perfect example. You knew you had to stop him every week. And every week, nobody could stop him, right? That is high production with high value and high, traits, right? But you could have one guy who just has an amazing week 1 week. And, Scotty, why is you not in your top 5? Because he doesn't show it over the long period of just production and consistency, right? So it's that. And then you can also take in the fact of the quarterback and if he has a good one and all that type of stuff, right? But I just want to I don't want people to be like, oh, Scotty, but this person had 10 catches for 199 yards. I'm like, oh okay, that's great. That's great. I'm just, it doesn't mean he has to be in my, thank you, eye test and skill. I love the movie Christmas Story. It's one of my favorite movies. So when I saw the shirt, I had to have it, right? So, I just want to kind of preface those comments before I get into my top 5. All right, my top 5. Right? A lot of the top 3 hasn't changed, but coming in the back half. Now, I took swag off of it because I felt like I was really limiting what I could do with this list because I just didn't want to make it all a swag thing, right? So, Shamar Savage, still number 1. Javon Robinson, still number 2. Jamar Gash is still number 3. Caden High from South Carolina State. Listen, this kid is special, okay? He is special. He gives me Wes Welker. He gives me, I won't go Dante Hall. I won't go that deep because if you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. I won't go Dante Hall. But he's like Dante Hall's second cousin, right? Like, he's a very, very good slot receiver, and he has a mix of possession and big play. He's a great guy. He's a good receiver. Like, if this kid was 6'2", 6'3", he wouldn't be at South Carolina State. I like Julian Edelman. I definitely like the Julian Edelman comp. That's a great comp, right? He gives you big play in a small frame, but he just always shows up. He just always shows up some way, somehow for his team. Got to give it to him. So he jumps into my top 5. And Trent Leary, special kid. Hopefully he can bounce back in this week coming up against who they play. Texas Southern plays somebody. I can't remember. They play somebody, but I hope he bounced back against them. So these are my top 5 guys. Shamar is still that guy. Javon's still number 1, number 2. Jamar Gass is still number 3. And we will be going from there, all right? So, and listen, I want to be very honorable mention is Duke Miller. All right, honorable mention is Duke Miller. I heard he got hurt against the Alabama A&M game. He's had a couple games of good production. I think he had 90 or 80 yards against Auburn, had 100 or something against the last opponent they had. Even though I think that was a D2 team, probably was a D2 team. But Duke Miller's an honorable mention on this one. I'm just trying to think about some other people I've seen. It's an Alabama State receiver that I kind of like. I got to watch a little bit more tape of him. He's coming on strong. Chandler Whitfield, I like Chandler. I really, really do. But his production is going to go down based off his quarterback play and the play calling. It's just not going to work for him until they get that situation figured out. He's probably going to be off the list for a while. But this is my top 5 guys in the HBCU for wideouts. All right. Now, top 5 quarterbacks.
Oh, goddamn.
He didn't have the production, Mike. Like, let's keep it real. Listen, I was never high on Duke Miller, and I'm still not high on Duke Miller. But he didn't have no production when he was with y'all, so I can't ignore 90 yards against Auburn. Who can ignore that? I can't ignore 90 yards against Auburn. It's Auburn, for Christ's sakes. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, Jesus, the boy had production. Y'all didn't use him, so he ain't had no production. Like, I went high on him anyway. So anyway. All right, my top 5 quarterbacks. It might shock you a little bit. All right, it might shock you a little bit. But I got it. Right? Here we go. Top 5 quarterbacks. Coming at number 5, Miles Crawley. And when I say Miles Crawley is hanging on by a thread, he is hanging on by a thread. That game against Texas A&M Commerce was absolutely atrocious. And I keep saying it over and over and over again. Miles keeps hitting this ceiling, and he just hasn't broken through. Right? He just hasn't broken through. My issue is this. Right? You got to get Miles top 5 because he ends up winning the game. He still finishes the game and they still end up winning the game. Right? So I mean, it's not a lot of, it's HBCU football. It's not a lot of, top quarterbacks or whatever. Right? So, got to get that. But I'm telling you, Miles is living on a thread. And the reason why you really can't even go with DJ Bailey. DJ Bailey doesn't even, his arm is a little shaky, deep accuracy. Listen, Miles Crawley has got to get his deep ball together. No Diddy, right? He was underthrowing everybody. And most of his receivers had 1 or 2 steps in front of the defender. Bro, you got to put it out in front. Javon Robinson probably should have went for 200 yards that game. If Miles Crawley is listening to me right now, my boy, you need to be in the film room every single day and processing what you're seeing on the field because Dooley is dialing it up. I don't know what and who has gotten into Dooley's body, but he is dialing it up, so it's not his fault. I cannot come on here and say Dooley's effing it up. I cannot say that because he's dialing it up. Miles Crawley is not processing it good. He's not climbing in the pocket well enough to buy time for his O-line and for his receivers. He keeps drifting out the back, right? And getting caught up in DNs and all this type of stuff. So he's got to rein it in and get it together. He has all the potential in the world. He has the arm shift. He has the arm talent. He's got to bring it together. All right. Now, number 4, KJ Cooper. Still love this kid. Right? I still love this kid. I think, Texas Southern plays against Southern. Yeah, Texas Southern. I think Texas Southern it's PV versus Southern. Who does Texas Southern play this week? They play Lamar. They play Lamar this week. They play Lamar. Thank you. Just popped into my ass, right? KJ Cooper, like this kid. Hopefully he can bounce back against Lamar. And he didn't play against Rice, but hopefully he's going to play against Lamar and do big things. The one thing I like about, once again, what I love about KJ Cooper is he doesn't play outside of himself. That's the kicker, right? He doesn't play outside of himself. He keeps it in line to what he's able to do. The play caller keeps it in line with what he's able to do, and he's a very, very efficient. All right, listen. This one was tough. That 2-3 spot was tough. Listen, if you have not seen, okay, I'm going to play one video because a lot of you Bama's going to be like, Scotty, how is Mekhi Hagan's UAPB quarterback? Why isn't my quarterback up there? Blah, 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 right? I actually go watch film. That's what I do. I want to show you a play that this kid made that was absolutely amazing, right? A lot of your quarterbacks can't do what this kid does, period. And UAPB gonna clip somebody. And Tony Hall got a special talent at the quarterback position, all right? Let me get this pulled up real quick for you. I'm going to show you one clip. All right. Now, hopefully y'all can see this. It's a little bright. Who? Watch it. Now, let me set the stage. This is 3rd and 20. I know it's bright. I apologize. It's 3rd and 20. I'm going to say it again. 3rd and 20. This is what he does. It's hard to see. Yeah, that's hard to see. My bad. I gotta get it better. I was screen recording on my phone and send it to people. But let me see. Let me see if I can get something better. Let me see if this one better. It was like super bright, my bad. Or is that me or was it super bright? It was super bright. Let me see if this one works better. The kid is special. Is at the end of the day. The kid is absolutely special. You got to go watch. Yeah, it's a risky throw. It's a risky throw. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying the kid's special. You got to give him credit. The kid is special. You got guts. You got talent, right? When it works out well, it's great. When it don't, it's bad. All right, let me see this. Let me see if this is.
Nah, this dude be playing.
Yeah, it's too bright. All right, but the kid is special. I mean, I could pull it up, but, I was screen recording it for somebody so they can see what I was looking at. Go watch the Tennessee. All you got to do is watch Tennessee versus UAPB in the first half. Just watch the first half film. It's freaking amazing, right? So you got Mekhi Hagan's, right? Number 2, Eric Phoenix. Listen, if Eric Phoenix was coming back another year for South Carolina State, I would put them in the Celebration Bowls with my eyes closed. And I still think they have an opportunity because, like I'm telling you, y'all can say whatever you want. Chennis Berry not having to beat white coaches to extend his football career or his football playoff life is the best thing that ever happened to him because he would get outcoached. My thing is this. He has the team right here, right now, to go win a celebration, I won't say win a Celebration Bowl. He definitely has the talent to make it to the Celebration Bowl. He definitely does. And if you do not believe me, you haven't seen his team, right? Now, once again, if he had to beat some white coaches to get there, it would be tough selling. But he don't. He just got to play 5 Bamas, 5 black Bamas, right? So that, at the end of the day, is a saving grace. And I think Eric Phoenix is just a solid guy, right? He's mature. He's been in the South Carolina State system before when he was at Benedict. he just brings a calmness. And I think Chinnisberry really has to capitalize on this opportunity with Eric, because finding a quarterback in HBCU is just hard. Finding a competent, calm, poised quarterback in HBCU football is not easy. It is not. And he needs to take full advantage of having Eric Phoenix there as long as he can. And then the number one is Daniel Richardson. It's not even close. It's Daniel Richardson till it ain't Daniel Richardson no more. That's pretty much what it is. Daniel Richardson is the number one quarterback in HBCU football. It's not even close. All right. I know two QBs who aren't better, and that's not Jacoby and Cameron. You'll have to combine them into one quarterback to make them on this list. All right. Here we go. New one. My top 5 play callers. I was supposed to put an S on this. I was rushing. My top 5 play callers in HBCU football. Right? In HBCU football. Here we go. All right. But before I get there, let me do something real quick. Sorry, guys. I got to knock this out real quick. All right. Now, here we go. These are my top 5 play callers in HBCU. All right? In HBCU, these are my top 5 play callers. Now, number 1, got to go with Matt Leon. Got to go with Matt Leon because of what he has done and for what he is doing with Walker Harris and beating Alabama State and all that type of stuff. You got to give it to Matt Leon as the best play caller in HBCU football, right? Now, Joseph Henry got to come in number 2, right? You're scoring against Power 4 competition. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. If you scoring against Power 5, look at Alcorn, goose egged. All right, look at Alabama A&M, 6 points. Listen, it is not easy scoring points against Power 4 competition. It ain't. And Powell State would know that if they actually played Power 4 competition. Listen, they were on the 1-yard line against Miami. You didn't watch the game. They was on the 1-yard line against Miami. They got a false start, backed them up, and they couldn't get in the end zone. I would love to see Powell State get on the 1-yard line against a Power 4 competition. Anywho, let's continue on. Right? Also, Joseph Henry's averaged about 300 yards per game. No matter what you might say about it or how it might look, he's averaged 300 yards per game. T.C. Taylor, listen, you got to give it up for how he's protecting his quarterbacks, right? At the end of the day, you got to give him credit for protecting his quarterbacks. His quarterbacks are limited in multiple areas, and he's building an offense that literally is protecting them from being exposed, right? So that's what great play callers do. I see a hindrance. I see a weakness. I have to protect it, right? So I do this. And that's what he's done with this team. He's built this team that the running game protects his quarterback. So I don't have to ask you to do a lot. I don't have to ask you to throw it around the yard 30, 40 times to win a game. No. What we're going to do is we're going to slow this thing down. We're going to run this thing. You're going to play action. You're going to RPO this thing. And you're going to make about 10 to 12 good reads. You're going to be super efficient. And you might go for $160, $170, right? Like, that's just great play calling. You might not like how it looks, but it's great play calling. It's understanding your players and understanding what your team is, right? Got to give credit where credit is due. Jonathan Williams, listen, I like how it looks. It just seems so easy. Like, it doesn't, like the offense that South Carolina State runs, it just looks easy. It doesn't look hard. I can't explain it. Like, it just comes with so much ease. Maybe it's because Eric Phoenix knows it as well as he does. But, I mean, the way they run the ball, the way they chew up clock, the way they make the reads, it just comes off really, really easy. And I like seeing what it looks like. I think they have a very high ceiling for this offense. Now, it might not blow you away with like 300 and 400 yards passing, but it could easily get to about 205 passing, 150, 160 on the ground, and they're averaging about 300 to 350 yards per game as an offense. I just like how it looks, right? And Anthony Whedon, listen, I don't think he has all the pieces, because he doesn't. But if you watch it, you can tell, and this is what I'm talking, this is when I say you can see the scheme even though you don't have the players, right? If you watch PV and you watch the shifting, the motion, the levels, like the concept, the route concepts, like a lot of it's really, really good. I don't think he just doesn't have all the pieces there to make it really go like it should go, right? But I think a lot of what's there is good stuff. The shifting, the motion, how he uses the running back, how he makes the quarterback comfortable with easy reads and things like that. So I like what it looks like. And then listen, realistically, I'm gonna be honest with you. Dooley is an honorable mention. I know that's crazy. I know that's crazy to say. But Dooley has to be an honorable mention. I'm telling you, listen, I'm telling you. If you're not watching Grambling, you don't understand what I'm talking about. Dooley has been taken over by somebody. Like, I'm so serious. Like, something or someone has gotten inside of Dooley and has changed his approach to offensive football. I'm so serious, and I'm being honest with you. I'm so serious right now. Like, I'll tell you if Dooley was ass. I'll happily tell you. It's Dooley. I'm telling you, and I know I was right because I had Grambling people call me on Saturday and Sunday and was like, "Man, Scotty, you ain't lying. This is different than what we saw at Southern. It's different. It's different. It's different. It's different. I'm telling you, it's different, right? I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's different. And it looks damn good, too. So that's all I'm going to say. So Dooley has to be an honorable mention in this situation simply because of what he's doing and how it looks. It looks completely different. Go watch a Grambling game and tell me that's the same offense you saw at Southern. You'll be lying. You would be lying to yourself, all right? You'll be lying to yourself. So I'm just listen. I'm just keeping it a buck. That's all I'm saying. I'm just here to tell you what it looked like. That's all I'm saying. All right? It is what it is. Now, for all you Pajot State fans, listen, I'm gonna do your game first. You can hear the review and you can move about your happy ass way. Because what happens is Pajot State fans come in like, oh, has he talked about Pajot State? Has he talked about us yet? Oh, what did Scotty say about us? Oh, okay, I'm about to do your game review. Now you can log your happy ass off and take your happy ass on, right? I'm not waiting late. I'm not doing none of that. Up to bat first. Pajot State and Southern, okay? I'm going to give you your game review. Take your happy ass on somewhere else, all right? Go to your mass meetings. Go to everybody else. Just take your happy ass on, right? Anyway, listen, I watched this film. I watched it last night, and I literally went through it piece by piece, right? And it's simply this. You're not elite at anything, but you do everything well. I'm going to say that again. You're not elite at anything, but you do everything well. This team is so fundamentally sound, it is ridiculous. They do everything the right way, and they don't have to be perfect because they're just at the right position at the right time. The offensive line moves like a dance partner doing the tango. Like, it just works very well together. Now, Are there things in this game that Southern could have exploited? Absolutely. And hindsight is always 2020. And you can't. If I broke the film down, you cannot tell me that. You can't tell me that Southern is they're just coaching bad stuff at Southern, right? It's not taking anything away from what Pajot State did. Pajot State handled their business. Southern is getting coached really, really, really bad, and that's just a whole separate thing on its own, right? So let me stay on Pajot State, right? So once again, I say again, nothing you do is elite, but everything is done so well. So you have to play really good football to beat Pajot State. If you are a team that is sloppy, makes mistakes, takes too many risks, listen, because if you watch the game, it wasn't like big play, big play, big play. It wasn't that. It literally was a 3, 6 yards, 8 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards. Big play, 3 yards, 4 yards, 8 yards, 7 yards, 6 yards. Big play. Like that's literally how it was. So it wasn't like, oh, another big play. Oh, another big play. Oh, another big. It's not how they get you. They're going to say, you're going to mess up before we will. And that's just good fundamental football. It's not pretty. It's not exciting, unless you're winning, of course. But it's just, we're going to do what we do. We do it very well. And you gotta be there, and you gotta make sure you're keeping up with what we're doing, right? Offensive line blocked, absolutely phenomenal. Shout out to them. Everybody on that O-line, everybody should be going to Sizzler tomorrow. Everybody on that O-line should be at Sizzler today. Golden, whatever they want, because they won the game. Your running backs are special, but they ain't going nowhere if nobody's blocking. Your O-line won the game. Simple as that. Listen, it's as simple as that. The O-line won you the game. They're that damn good, and they're that fundamentally sound, right? Defensively, listen, man, that kid Ashton Taylor, like, I know he probably won't get the Aubrey Miller kudos. He won't get the Keontae Hampton kudos. But when you go 5 down linemen and the only ninja in the middle is Ashton Taylor, that just shows you how much they respect him. Pajot State literally lined up 5 guys on the line. And Ashton Taylor was the only ninja in the backfield, like in the linebacker box. The only person. He just there. Like, you know how much trust you have to have in your linebacker to do that? Because at any point in time, if they slip through just a creak, crack, or crevice, you're gone. Because the safeties are here, corners are over there. It was literally 5 down linemen, 1 linebacker, and it's just Ashton by himself. Like, hey, listen, whatever. Funnel it to me, I'm getting there. Like, it's crazy. The kid is really, 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 really good, right? Really good as linebacker position. Everything else on the back end is just, it's hard to explain. Like, if you're playing Pajot State, they don't blitz like the old Pajot State, right? They don't blitz like the Dion. The Dion Pajot State, they brought everything. They're not the best defensive line. They're no. Y'all Bama's is y'all okay. Anyway, let's continue on. All right. They don't blitz like the old Dion Pajot State, right? Dion's blitz always came through that A gap right in the quarterback's face and everything like that. A lot of how Pajot State blitzes is from corner blitzes, edge blitzes. They do a lot of edge blitzing, right? And honestly, if your offensive coordinator is good enough, those are really easy. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the corner blitzes, they're hard to detect because them corners literally be like, them corners do not give any hint that they blitzing. They be like this. They be looking dead, like I'm looking at this camera, they be looking dead at the receiver like this. And then it's a hike, and they be gone. I'd be like, oh, shit, I wouldn't have seen that coming. I'd be like, oh, I'm dead. If I was a quarterback, I'd be dead. I ain't gonna hold you. But the edge blitzing is just what they do. That's how they get a lot of their stuff. They come with Pulliam and some other DB or whatever. They do a lot of tackle blitzing, right? And that's pretty much to stop all that RPO stuff and all that type of stuff. But it's different, right? So they look at it like this: like our trench game is good in the D tackle situation. So we'll force you they'll funnel you back in. They're trying to, well, in my personal opinion, this is how I look at it. I'm not a defensive coordinator, but it feels like they're trying to funnel you back into the middle, which is their strength of that triangle I talk about with Jeremiah, Ashton, and True, or whoever's in that D tackle position, right? They try to funnel you back into that Bermuda Triangle, which is a problem, right? So that's what Ohio State is. And listen, the DBs, again, are not good. I'm just going to keep saying that. They're not good. They're not special by any means. But if you don't have the time to throw it, if you don't have the time to see it, if you're not throwing the hot route off their blitzes, then you're going to lose. It's just very simple like that. So that's my Ohio State assessment. You guys can, please feel free to log off at any time. Won't hurt my feelings none. Nice for you guys to come here. You guys can go about your day. Let's give them some time. Let's give them Ohio State fans time to leave because it's nothing else to talk about, y'all. So you're more than welcome to leave. All right, now that they're gone. All right. Southern. Now, this is the thing for me, right? I said, and anybody who watches me for longer than a day, I said everything in my spirit was going to say, you guys are going to be garbage truck juice. Everything in my spirit, everything, and I usually listen to it, right? It's the one that picked South Carolina State to win. It's the one that picked, I don't think I picked NCCU. I don't think I picked NCCU that year. But yeah, I picked Alabama State to beat y'all in homecoming, all that type of stuff, right? My spirit usually don't let me down. And everything in my spirit told me that Southern was going to be ass juice. And watching that film against Jackson State let me know that y'all was ass juice. And what really messed me up was y'all putting T-Set and me seeing his potential. Because even in the game against Ohio State, you could see the potential of T-Set and what he really is and what he can be, which I think Southern's going to flounder that because the kid has really good potential, right? I'm really high on him, right? So you are what I thought you were in your ass. Like there's no ifs and buts about it. And I'm not taking any credit away from what Jackson State did to you because they did that to you, right? Like they'd be like, you know how your mama be like, what happened to your face? Well, the kid in the neighborhood beat you up. Like they beat you up. Like they did what they were supposed to do. So that's not taking any credit away from what they did. They beat your ass, right? But you're not good on the same token. And it's a mixture of a lot of things. It's a mixture of players. It's a mixture of coaching. It's a mixture of it all. I can't just put it on one person and be like, oh, this coach is bad and this is why this team is. No. There's people on that Southern offensive line that should not be playing football. Like, I was really like this close to breaking that whole game down and really showing Southern fans like, yes, is Mark Frederick's ass? Abso-freaking-lutely, he's absolutely ass. But is that offensive line just as ass? It is horrendous. And if I do slide by slide, if I show you what Southern did and I show you what Jackson State looked like, right, you'll be like, oh, I get it. It's just clear as day of like, this is what right looks like. This is what ass looks like. And you be the judge. There's a play that I absolutely love that Ohio State did, right? The right tackle. They did a screen play to, I believe, Isaiah or something, like a screen pass or whatever. And he sets, like he's in his position. He sets. The DN rushes. He Reggie Wayne White power slaps him on the back. I'm just like he's rushing. He just power slaps him on the back to let him go by him because he's going out for the screen, right? Old lineman just chucking it. He sees the linebacker or DB, whoever was out there, and blasted his ass. I'm talking about like, it's one of those things like you're like, oh shoot, here it come. And he just levels him. Boom. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like, yeah, that's what it looks like. On the opposite side, it's a guard for Southern, on the right guard for Southern. He double teams the block. Ashton Taylor is standing right there waiting to get blocked. You know what he does? He goes to him like he was playing T-set. Oh, would you like some tea, please? Oh my God. And he like pity pats him, right? Like he's just like, oh my God, would you like some tea, Ashton? And Ashton's like, nigga, nah. And he like swims him and gets right around and makes a tackle. Like that is the complete difference of what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like, and what it didn't look like. And when you see the staunch difference, you're like, oh my God, they never had a chance. And I got to give Paris credit. She kept putting it in the chat. Scotty, I don't know what the O-line is bad. The O-line is like, she pounded that in the chat. The O-line is bad. They can't block. The O-line, she just kept saying it. And I'm just like, maybe. No, they bad. They're bad. They're bad. They're absolutely bad. Just point blank period. They're bad. Right? So, they're bad. Just absolutely bad. Just atrocious. Right? So, Southern, you got a lot to figure out. You have so much to figure out. And it starts with the offensive line. It really does. And I'm going to say this. And I know Powell State fans, I know they left. But if y'all want to clip it and send it to any of them. If this line looked like this with Shedeur, you win the Celebration Bowl. The first one. I don't know about the second one. The first one, definitely. If you had this O-line, now, I'm being very mindful. That right tackle, he's a little shaky on the pass blocking. He's a little shaky, right? But run blocking, now, what Prom run the ball? Absolutely, probably not. But if you had this O-line with Sylvion Wilkerson, it wouldn't even be fair. I'm so serious. Like, I don't like saying nothing about Powell State, right? But if they had this O-line, the years that Shedeur and the Sylvion Wilkerson was going crazy, oh man, it wouldn't even be fair. I'm telling you, it would not be fair at all, because they're just so fundamentally sound. It's not even crazy. It's not even funny. But other than that, man, yeah, they solid. They solid on that O-line. You got to come to play. You got to come to play in that O-line, D-line. All right, here we go. Alabama State, Sanford, listen. Alabama State's defense is turning up. All right, Alabama State's defense is looking like an Alabama State defense, right? Like they're looking like what they were before. They still don't have the play. They don't have those guys that just made it like a brawl, right? Like when you thought about Alabama State's defense, like you were just like it's gonna be a long day. And I still don't feel like they have those guys. But in totality, right? In totality, their defense is back. Just being solid, just being the pillar piece of what they used to be, of like this, the team is led by their defense. This team is led by their defense. Offensively, shit, that shit like the blue diamond in Titanic, it's gone. I got listen, bro. Listen, Bama's still looking for that diamond. That offense for Alabama State is, you had a better chance of flying in that blue diamond from Titanic. It is gone. It is gone. Gone. I mean, the OC ain't gonna bring it back. The quarterback ain't gonna bring it back. And they got some good running backs, like AJ Gates. I think the kid named DeQuincy, Jonah. I don't know his name, but they got some really good running backs. I love AJ Gates, by the way. AJ Gates is a freaking dog, right? A dog. But offensively, they cannot find it, and they have to find it to be relevant, right? To be relevant. Can they score in Valley? Yeah, I mean, they can score at Valley. I mean, they're going to run the ball. Yeah, they got talent. Like, I want to be – okay. They have talent. That is – see, this is the thing. you can have talent and still not have an offense. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like you're just trying to figure out who we are. And I think Rocky made a great point of having an identity, right? Like, having an identity is half the battle of what your offense is. Like, South Carolina State has an identity. They're very balanced, right? FAMU has an identity. Daniel Richardson, tight ends. That's our identity. We're gonna work our tight ends. We're gonna do our passing game. We're gonna roll through Daniel, right? And we'll implement the running game as needed, right? An identity. You got to find that out. Alabama State does not have an identity on offense. They don't know who they know they want to run the ball because that's Eddie Robb. Eddie Robb wants to run the ball. But when you cannot run the ball, you can't trust your quarterback. You have guys at the wide receiver that can listen. Them Bamas at Alabama State, if they can't do nothing else, they can run. They can absolutely run. They can fly, right? So you better be I don't even approve of being 7 yards and 10 yards off all the time. But if you go against Alabama State and you 5 yards or 4 yards away from them, they will blow by you. They will blow by you. No diddy. They're that fast. They move, right? But you don't got the quarterback to make the throw. You don't got the OC to scheme it up right. It's a tough, like, if I'm Alabama State, it's tough to watch, right? Because you go from being ranked number one, losing AB, losing to Andrew, losing the white boy. I think another kid went down. It's like they're dropping like flies in the offensive side of the ball when that was your weakest part. Like, to me, I think Alabama State would have been okay if they'd have lost some pieces on defense and just try to figure it out offensively with, Andrew, if he was healthy or whatever. I think they could probably get by because Eddie Robb being a defensive guy, you come up with a scheme, you kind of hide your weaknesses or whatever, right? Offensively, they're just not there. They just ain't got it. They really just ain't got it. And they got to figure it out fast because conference play is coming down the corner and it's coming down the pipe. And if people figure you out really quickly and really easily of, hey, they can only do this and they can't do anything else, it's going to be a long go for Alabama State. And again, it doesn't mean they're not talented. So there's a couple players that can catch you slipping, right? A.J. Gates, the receivers, they can catch you slipping. But offensively, it's a poor man's job. It's a poor man's job. Grambling versus Texas A&M Commerce. Now listen, most of the points came in the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, or the end of pretty much going into the second quarter, it was like 21-21. Yeah, you got me right. It was 21-21 at like the beginning of the second quarter. And then it was just tough sailing for the rest of them. Like, touchdown here, touchdown there, whatever. Watching the game, I'm telling you this, and you can mark my words, and I'm going to say this so loud. Grambling is probably the most talented team on offense in the SWAC totality-wise, right? Like, I think Jackson probably has the best running backs. I think FAMU probably has the best tight ends. But if you're talking about an ensemble of talent, like an ensemble of talent, just like if you're just ranking everybody in one package, they got the best. They have the best talent in the SWAC, and it's not even close. It's not even close. I'm so serious. Like, Shamar Savage might be the best wide receiver, but they got the second best. Aubrey and all the Ahmad and Irv might be the top running backs, but they got top running backs, right? Like, you might think, FAMU got the best tight end, which they do with Kobe and Pruitt and all them guys, but the people that they put in place, number 88, number 3, like, Grambling just got so much talent. It's mind-boggling, right? So that's why this is a tough year if you're Miles Crawley, because it's not what you think, right? Like, if you would have told me before the season start that Dooley would look different, Grambling will probably have. They're not what the running back room is not what it used to be, right? With Chalk and Chance, right? Those dudes are special talents. They really were, but they're damn close. But if you would have told me before the season that Dooley would be different, that Grambling would have all this talent and the O-line could do a little something. It ain't perfect, but it can do a little something. Oh, I'm rolling with Miles every time. Because I'm thinking Miles is going to take this to another level, right? Because of what he did last year, the offense wasn't really clicking like that, but he had talent. He was making things happen, blah, blah, blah. It comes down to Miles Crawley right now. This, I'm telling you, I'm so serious. And I when I tell you I love Miles, I love Miles. I really do. I love his game. I love his build. You know what I'm saying? He's just a prototypical type quarterback. This year is on him. This year, it's no excuses. It is on him. I can't say Dooley doing some stupid stuff. I can't do. There's no excuse that can be made for Miles. There's none. You are in probably one of the best positions. You got a veteran coach, a veteran head coach, who's disciplined. I mean, the team still gets penalized a lot, but this is your best opportunity, and you got to make it count, and he's not. As of right now, he is not, and that's what's so frustrating. Grambling, listen, I dare anybody to go watch the game. Grambling should have put 50 on these dudes. Now, I'm not saying defensively like they were all world, but they got 6 turnovers. Grambling caused 6 turnovers against Texas A&M Commerce. And at least 2 or 3 of them they gave it right back because of Miles. Miles gave it right back to him. Literally. Hey, pick. Ooh, we celebrating on the sideline. Hey, 2 plays later, Miles throws an interception. You're like, what the fudge? What the fudge? What the French toast? Like, that is what's going on. He doesn't need to stick with the run. That's the thing. He doesn't need to stick with the run. They have so much talent. You can go anywhere. Listen, this is why. You got to understand the day and age of football. Quick game passing is a form of running the ball. I wish you guys would get it through your thick skulls. Short game, quick game passing is like running the ball. I had a whole conversation with Willie Simmons about this. He said, Scotty, why would I have my running back or a situation where my running back's 3 yards away, 3 or 4 yards away from the line? He got to go 4 yards to get me 3 yards when I can just have my quarterback throw it for 3 or 4. What's the difference? Right? I had a whole conversation about Willie Simmons about that. Quick game passing is no different than running the ball. That's how this day and age is going. I'm not saying he shouldn't run the ball. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying he does not have to commit to it because Grambling has the talent at the wide receiver position to do quick game passing. They absolutely do. Right? You can't tell me they don't. They absolutely do. You have your quarterback is 6'5", 220. He can see over everybody. So that ain't even an issue. Daniel Richardson 5'2" and playing better than Miles Crawley, who's 6'5". Again, no excuses. Now, Grambling defensively, a little shaky. Got a little. The DBs are okay. They're okay. They ain't elite. They okay. That front 7, they got to show me something. Got to show me something. Right? Now, they got a kid. It's the same way I felt about the kid at Southern. They got a kid, number 6, for Grambling. Kid everywhere. Linebacker. Kid everywhere. But again, this is the thing. And I know, listen, that coach Dishman from Texas Southern, he's a dick. He's a dick. I ain't gonna lie. He's a straight dick. He's like the Bill Belichick of the SWAC. He's a dick, right? But he made some solid points about tackling and teaching the kids how to tackle and how to. It's too many times I'm seeing young men dive at tackles where you were taught as little kids is to run through the ball. You're supposed to run through the ball carrier. But if you're diving, like, come on, physics will tell you. Like, if I dive behind you and you're still having momentum going forward, I'm not going to get you. If I dive in front of you and you stop, I can't get you. You're supposed to run through the ball carrier. And young kids, young adults are not doing that. Young men are not doing that on the field. So you're seeing a lot more missed tackles. There's a lot of diving. There's a lot of leg. There's a lot of that, right? So you saw that in the Grambling game of missed tackles, bad reads, and whatever. So overall, listen, Grambling is not a bad team. They're not. They're very, very talented. Me and Perry gonna break this game down more on Outspoken. Make sure you tune in tonight. Outspoken tonight, 7:30. But Miles got to be better. It is nothing different than that. Grambling is talented enough to win the game if they're okay. I'll put it like this: you put Daniel Richardson on Grambling, they're beating the Swag by 30 every time. Like, there's not a team that's going to keep up offensively with them. And that's with Daniel Richardson throwing ducks at 20 yards. That is Daniel Richardson throwing ducks after 25 to 30 yards. Right? Quarterback play is leadership, like processing and making the right reads at the right time. Right? I'm not saying it's an easy job. I'm not saying that at all. But watching it, the biggest thing with Miles Crawley is he does not climb the pocket. Dog, you're 6'5", and you just keep drifting back. Like, he just keeps drifting back and back and back and back. You're like, huh? Why? It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. So, yes. Jackson versus Grambling, you can listen. Y'all can hear all the pundits talk about this and that, and it comes down to Miles Crawley. Period. And if I'm being honest, if DJ Bailey shows me anything in practice, I'm probably going with him because Miles, I can't rock with it, man. Like, Texas A&M Commerce is not is not UAB or freaking LSU or any of these crazy programs. And I'm not saying Texas A&M Commerce is bad, but the way he was making Texas A&M Commerce look, I'm like, dude, you would think Texas A&M Commerce like North Dakota State. I'm serious. Like, he had them looking like they was all world. When if you go watch the game, receivers I'm talking about, listen, receivers 2-3 steps ahead of their guy. The ball dying 5 yards short. Like, receivers beating their man, having to adjust to the ball, trying to come back because the ball is underthrown. Do you know how frustrating that is as a receiver? That I got a step or two on a guy, and you're underthrowing the ball? So now I got to stop, slow down, come back, try to make a miraculous catch when I did my job, and you just got to do your job and put it out in front of me? Yeah. It comes down to Miles on that one. I'm not going to lie to you. Listen. Alabama A&M. Listen. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I do not know. I got a couple text messages that I don't know if it's true or not. I heard it got so bad at this game that the announcer was talking about Connell Maynard possibly getting fired like during the season. I cannot confirm nor deny that. I do not know. I'm just telling you what people was at the game. They were texting me and said, Scotty, I'm at the game right now. The announcer is talking about Maynard possibly getting fired during the season. I said, wow. Right? So that's just bad. That's just bad. Listen. A&M, I think the issue that I have that if I was Dr. Paul Bryant is I gotta fire you because your same problem is showing up every year. You do not have. Listen, man. How many times as parent, as black kids, black people, that you just keep doing the same dumb thing every single time. And your parents like, do you not get it? You're not getting it. You're not understanding what you're doing. My issue with this Alabama A&M team, and Connell Maynard especially, is that your defense has been the issue for you for the last 3 to 4 years. And how can I, in good conscience, keep you as a head coach when you cannot fix the same issue that has been plaguing you for 4 to 5 years? Since Akil Glass has came and gone at Alabama A&M, your defense has been atrocious. Since I've came into this space, that's 4 years ago, Alabama A&M's defense has been ass, and it continues to be ass. So why would you extend somebody who cannot get that side of the ball correct? Like, I know Maynard's an offensive guy. I know he is. So I'm not, but at some point in time, you are the CEO. You are the head man in charge. No Diddy. And you can't get this corrected. You can't find the right guy to get it fixed. Then you're not the guy. You're not the guy. Period. Period. You're not the guy. You're not the guy. Right? So I don't know. I like offensively, they did enough to win the game. But it's like quarterbacks go here. Outside of Akil Glass, it's like quarterbacks go here and die. And they shouldn't. That's my issue. You have too many quarterbacks in this offensive room to come to this institution and die. Like, you see really, really talented kids come to Alabama A&M as quarterbacks and they die. To the point where, and I listen, this is no disrespect to Xavier Langford, none whatsoever. But to the point where Xavier Langford is starting over you, where he probably wouldn't start in half the teams in the SWAC, that's saying something. That is absolutely saying something to me. That probably you have some of the most talented throwers. You've probably had some more talented throwers in the SWAC come to your program and they've regressed or not gotten better or has had Xavier Langford start. You had somebody, like, I want to be very clear. And again, it's no shot to Xavier Langford, but you had a guy against Grambling who plays quarterback run for over 190 yards. And I think he probably competed like 8 to 10 passes. Maybe not even that. So to a certain extent, to a certain degree, right? It's just like, what is going on at Alabama A&M? And why? And this experiment has got to end sooner or later. It has got to come crumbling down sooner or later. Right? So I don't know. I do not know. But this experiment with Connell Maynard, it has to be over with. It has to be over with. Like, I know people would, like, this game alone should just show you where Alabama A&M is and where they're at currently. This game has to show you that, regardless of Scotty, man, we pulled it out. Let's see what Georgetown College does for the rest of the season. Let's see what them scores look like. Because it's no different than PV. PV plays Northwestern. They win by what? 3 points, 4 points, maybe 5. Northwestern plays South Alabama, gets mollywopped 87 to 10. Like, are SWAC teams that bad? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's where I feel like we're at with it. But, you know, it is what it is. All right, last game. Anybody. Any lottie dottie anybody. Listen, y'all already know how I feel. I'm celebrity. I'm championing celebrity. Period. That's what I'm championing. Celebrity. Go get you a celebrity. Because, and again, you're like, Scotty, I mean, all the celebrities. Listen, don't tell me about resources and what you don't have and go get you a celebrity. Listen, if I was Alabama A&M, I'll go give me a thank you. Thank you. I would be calling Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. I'm calling these ninjas. I'm calling them. Yo, what's goody? Emmitt Smith want to coach Florida. Now, Florida ain't about to let Emmitt Smith coach. Florida ain't about to let Emmitt Smith coach. But you know what you can, Coach Emmitt? You know where you can coach at Emmitt Smith? Alabama A&M. Best believe I'm going to be there. He a Cowboy? I don't know if anybody's seen that podcast. It's with him and Edgerrin James. And Mike and Emmitt Smith said on Edgerrin James' podcast that he would want to coach Florida. That ain't never happening. That ain't never happening. Right? So get that out your head. Get that out your head. No, listen, I'm not saying Robert Mathis is bad. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is give me somebody that's going to ring bells, right? Give me a name of somebody that's going to ring bells. That's all I'm saying. Somebody that's going to put I like what Perry says. Give me a coach that's going to put me on a ticker. Give me a coach, hire somebody that is going to put me on the ticker. That's what I'm saying. All right, real quick, and I'm getting this, and then I'm gonna say my 2 cents, and I'm gonna get up out of here. Very simply, UAPB doesn't have enough, but defensively they're lacking. Offensively, they're going to clip somebody. Offensively, they are going to clip somebody in the SWAC. I'm telling you now, if Mekhi Hagan stays healthy, because he got hurt last year against Tulsa, if Mekhi Hagans can stay healthy in the SWAC, he's going to clip somebody. I do not know who. I do not know when. I don't know. I'm telling you, UAP gonna get somebody. He's that good. He's that good to get you a game. He'll get you a game. Period. He's that good. They got to do more defensively. They gotta figure themselves out defensively and kind of lock that in place. I think Alonzo Hampton's a defensive guy, so I would assume the defensive side of the ball is good. Yeah, Tony Hall is a great play caller as well. He is. I don't think he got a fair shake at Grambling, but definitely a talented young man that he got there at the quarterback position. So he's gonna do some big things with him. So that's pretty much it for my UAPB. Offensively, they're a problem. Defensively, they need help. All right. Now, let me say this. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get up out of here. And this is the Southern, right? I was gonna do a whole show about Southern. And I was like, whatever. Southern people gonna be Southern people. Let me just say this about Southern people. In the last 4 to 5, like I feel like one of the monologues, like in Saturday Night Live or something like that. In the last 4 to 5 years, if you look at the progression of your program compared to everybody in the landscape of the SWAC or HBCU football, if that is not a fireable offense to Roman Banks, I do not know what is. In the last 4 years, you don't even got to take it. You just got to do 4 years. In the last 4 years, after you let Odoms go, and I can bring up an old episode that I did about letting Odoms go, and I say you don't let 9 to 10, you don't let 9-win coaches walk out the door, because I would always rock with a guy who gets me at the door and I can't kick it in than the guy that can't even get me on the block. And Terrence Graves is not getting you to the block, right? So you let Odoms go. You go interim with Jason Rawlings. That has a whole thing, right? You then go hire Eric Dooley. Now, mind you, Kevin Sumlin wasn't opportune. This is the stuff that I'm saying. That's why I don't feel sorry for none of them ninjas at Southern University. I hope you drown in whatever Southern juice you drinking it. Because when you have the opportunity to step outside of the recycling of the swag ass coaches, you did not do that. You wanted to go with Dooley. For what? I have no idea. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. But anyway, right? So you had the opportunity to get Kevin Sumlin. He was on board to come over coach. You felt Eric Dooley was a better choice. He's gone in 2 years. He's gone in 2 years, and you're still paying him like he damn Billy Napier or something. You paying him like he damn Jimbo Fisher or something. When you could have had Kevin Sumlin, had the notoriety that Kevin Sumlin has, and just imagine the talent that you already had on the Southern team if you added a Kevin Sumlin to that and the recruiting aspect of that. This is the part of the plan that I keep telling people that HBCU fans don't see HBCU alums don't see the other side of the forest. They can't see through the forest. They can't see through the trees. They can't see past their nose. All they care about is, well, this is how we do it, and this is how it's done, and this is what it is, and we don't need this and we don't need that. But there's only going to be times where talent is going to come to high-level talent is going to come to your school. And sometime you're going to need a guy that understands the landscape of what recruiting looks like, high-level recruiting looks like, right? The reason FAMU does what FAMU does is because of the Florida pipeline being as good as it is, where you don't have to leave the state of Florida to get high-level athletes. That is not the same for everybody's case. That's not the same. And for somebody to tell me, I'm not going to say no names, but for somebody to tell me that Eric Dooley was going to out-recruit Hugh Jackson was out there cotton-ass picking mine. Oh, he knows New Orleans, and he knows the area. He's from the state. Nobody gives two shits when Hugh Jackson is sitting on your couch talking about, I coached in the NFL. I know some scouts. I know some coaches. I know some GMs. That's why half the freaking team that he recruited went Power 5 or G5. Because he was bringing in top-level talent. He just couldn't coach it. Just couldn't coach it. Right? So it goes back to that. So what I'm saying, so when people are out here yelling and talking about, oh, we don't need celebrity this and celebrity that, like, you might not need it for the long term. You might not. You might need it for about a 3 or 4 year. For Southern, you might just need it for 3 or 4 years just to get an injection of swag, just to get an injection of coolness, just to get an injection of winning. That's what Ohio State did. They didn't go get prom because they were winning. They went and got prom because they was ass. That's how you beat a team for 10 years straight. Because they ass. That's how you beat a team for 5 years straight. Because you ass. Right? You don't go get a prom because you've been winning all this time. You wouldn't need them. I've been winning, whatever. Prom brought a level of a standard back to what Ohio State miraculously thought they were. But he brought that swagger in. He I won't say he brought it in. He reinvigorated that swagger. He reinvigorated that confidence, right? So it's the same thing with Southern. Fam, you got that through Willie. They were lucky enough to get that through Willie. They didn't need a prom, right? Southern is not that beneficial. So Southern, if anybody, I do not, like, y'all can say whatever you want. We don't need, yes the hell y'all do. You need an Ed Reed. You need somebody who's going to step in that position and reinvigorate that fan base to where when you walk in a stadium, that joker is sold out because of who the head coach is and what he's bringing in. Don't let it fool you. Trust me when I tell you. You need the cheat code. You don't have time to build a pro. You don't got time for that. You need a cheat code ASAP. So you better go find you somebody and reinvigorate that, or you're going to find yourself at the bottom of the barrel, looking like Jackson of old. Joe, coming to you.
Hold on, Scott. I want to hit you on two things. How many times you don't watch your son that highlight reel you got for your son? How many times you don't watch it? I was in your same position once before. I still watch my son highlight reel to this day.
I watched it a few times, not too much, because he watches it more than I do. He be like, Dad, can I see your phone? You know what I'm saying? You want to watch his plays and stuff like that. But, I just look at it like, man, I'm proud. I'm glad he's having fun. And I just want him to have, enjoy himself while he's young. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay, my next thing. I think Jackson State is the most complete team in SWAC. I'm going to tell you why. Because they are so strong in one area that hides their weaknesses. That's why I think Jackson State is the most strongest team, the most balanced, strongest team in the SWAC. Balance it all out. You agree or you disagree?
I think in the trenches, yeah, they're probably the most balanced team in the trenches.
I ain't asked you that. I said the most balanced team in the SWAC.
No.
Who would you say?
No, I don't think any team's that balanced. That's what I'm saying. Like everybody.
I said the most balanced. I said they're the most balanced team
in the trenches. In the trenches, that's all I can give you. In the trenches, yeah, they're probably the most balanced team in the trenches. But no, that's all I can give you. That's why I can't say them, because I know their secondary isn't good. I know their quarterback play isn't very well, right? It's not good. The running backs is good. The wide receivers aren't. So I can say FAMU's O-line is good. FAMU's D-line isn't. Their linebackers are pretty good. The linebackers are all right. They all right. The secondary is pretty good, right? Running backs are all right. The quarterback is really good. The wide receivers are pretty good, right? So that's what I'm saying. When you're saying they're the most balanced team in the trenches, to where the trenches is not a liability for them. That is all I can give you, and I will 100% agree with you on that. Their trench play is not a liability for them, and that's half the game right there. That's half the game.
All right. One more thing. We might bump heads on this here, but if we do,
that's fine.
I think you should. I know you don't like the Jackson State fans, but I think by you calling Jackson State University Pie-Hole State, I think that's a disrespect to the school.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but that's just my outlook.
Let me ask you this: what's the difference between them calling Alcorn Slawcorn? What's the difference of people calling Ole Miss Ole Piss? What's the difference between people calling FAMU FAMPoo? What's the difference? Like what are we talking about? Like, schools do that all the time. So what are we talking about?
I agree. I take that back.
All right. Because people love to get so emotional about when you look at the.
No, I'm not saying emotion.
All right.
I just, I was just asking questions because I never heard of Slawcorn. I never heard of the name you called, so that's new to me. But if that's what they do, then that's what they do. I agree with you. Pie-Hole State. All right, I'm going.
All right, appreciate it. Listen, what y'all not about to do? Y'all not about to make me feel no type of way. Y'all ain't about to make me feel no type of way, because I came up with Pie-Hole State, and people like it. Laxton State, Pie-Hole State, people like that. Ain't no difference than people calling Alcorn Slawcorn. Ain't no difference between you can't spell Southern without suck or suck without Southern, all that type of stuff. With SU, all that type of stuff. Miss me with it. So y'all ain't about to make me, it's got it. F that. Pie-Hole State, Laxton State is all that. All right? Dion from the SIP coming to you.
What's the deal, Scotty?
What's up, D?
I don't know it, man. Hey, I'm laughing at you on that end part. talking about it's no different than like the slaw corn and all that. I'm a Jack State supporter, you know that.
Yeah.
I just think it's just good banter. You know what you do. I mean, I know it's nothing against the institution, man. It's always against
The fans.
some of the fans.
I can't stand the fan. And my wife, Ohio State through and through. She don't even say Michigan. She say shit again. She don't even cuss. Like that's what she's Ohio State through and through. She's born in Ohio. She Ohio State through and through. She don't say Michigan in the house. She say shit again. And she don't even cuss. You get what I'm saying?
And that's coming from the prophetess.
That's coming from the prophetess. You get me? Like she don't play that. She hate Michigan.
Yeah, man. But what I was calling for, you made a valid point, man. I was, I'm off on Mondays. Monday's usually my day. I chill, sit back, and just catch up on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of weeks ago, I sat back and watched the South Carolina Jack State game in our Celebration Bowl. And while watching the game Saturday, I said the same thing you said earlier. Man, if Shador had this offensive line, because like you said, they really do move as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they did as far as different. With just I guess they got a new offensive line coach, but man, they move as a unit. Now, when you said that it like flash, like at least I ain't the only one that saw it. But you know what I gotta say before I leave, baby? Grambling, you on the clock. JSU by 40.
Now let me ask you this, D, before you go.
I'm
just saying no, because I don't understand the by 40. Does that mean you score 40 or you win by 40? Because y'all get me confused with that. Is like I need the breakdown. Is it by 40 or scoring 40?
It's supposed to be by 40.
Oh,
like
okay.
We're gonna beat your ass 40-0.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's just like I guess Zoe would say the same thing. When he said all the time too. JSU by 40. We want to score 40 points, but we really want to beat your ass by 40 points. So it don't make no difference if we score 40 points and y'all score 35. That we didn't beat you by 40, we beat you by 6. So it's by 40, man. By 40 means we want to give a goose egg and put 40 up and keep getting Mike some good chicken wings. Boy, I tell you, by the time we come to FAMU, we're gonna have a smorgasbord of chicken wings.
Not a smorgasbord. Wow. Okay.
A smorgasbord. Yeah.
A smorgasbord.
You let Mike know this week. Bet the farm. Bet the damn farm. Don't worry about nothing. Bet the farm.
First of all, Mike don't even have the cojones to bet the farm. He don't. Because he'll rant, rave, and then right at the score, right when the score is supposed to, right when I push this button. Order up, scoring what? Right when I push that button, Mike gonna say, well, Scotty, I have been thinking, I've been watching film. I'm like, Mike, you ain't been watching no film.
You watching no damn film. I love Mike Reed. He ain't watching no damn. He watching clips on damn ESPN on the tip.
Yeah, I'm like, Mike, you ain't watching no film. Yeah, Scotty, I'll be watching that film. So I'm gonna go 21-17 JSU. I'm like, you was just ranting and raving all throughout this show. And then as soon as they get to the score, he goes, I've been watching film, Scotty.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. See, Mike's just like one of my old cousins. So finally got some good credit and don't want to buy nothing. Man, my credit good now, man. Man, you got a 2003 Honda Civic, man. You think you need to get some help? Man, my credit good. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna play it safe. Just patch it up. So I'm gonna have to get Mike. Gonna have to get his number, man, and tell the man, say it with your chest when you say it by 40. Don't say JSU by 40. And then, I think the score gonna be 21-10.
Yeah, that's what he do. That's what he do. That's exactly what he do. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. You've been ranting and raving. Oh, you telling me, I don't respect this. I don't respect that. You'll put some respect on our name. Then when it's time to put a score up, you 17-13. I'm like, what is this?
Here you go. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna come down to TC's play calling and that defense, Scotty. That defense gonna stand up, baby, and it's gonna be 14-10. Come on, man, don't do that. I be wanting him to give you hell when he do ever get the 40, get the 40 points or whatever. Maybe I need to get in touch with. I'm gonna hit him up on Twitter and be like, hey man, Come on, man. Say it with your chest. I got good credit. Hell, I'll back you up on 10 wings or something. Let's make this happen, man. Say it with your chest this week. So.
Yeah, I like you know
man,
what I'm
like
saying.
I said,
Yeah,
like I said, baby, man. I appreciate what you do for the community, man. No matter what these jokers say, man. Hey, you're much needed in the community, man. So again, Grambling, JSU by 40.
all right, so that means 40 points, right? I just want to make sure we.
Oh, yeah, about 40 points. Yeah, about 40 points. Yeah, and Monday's my off days, so when Monday's my off days, so when it do happen, I'm gonna let you know.
I'll be right here.
JSU by 40.
I'll be right here. All right,
Well,
appreciate it,
I see
Dion.
you, brother, man.
All right,
Hey, tell Mike to grow some nuts. Have a good one, baby.
You too. Oh man, that wasn't for me. He from Jackson. 29-28 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
What's up, Scotty?
What's up? What's your name? Where you
You
calling
hear
from?
me, Scotty?
Yep.
This is Braylon from Mississippi, man.
Talk to me.
I just called in and get a question, trying to get your insight and perspective on this. You didn't talk about this particular game, and rightfully so, but Alcorn scored the most unimpressive 38 points I ever seen. And this an Alcorn graduate, Alcorn alumni, right? That was the most unimpressive 38 points we ever seen. So my question to you is there any hope for that offense, or if you was the offensive coordinator, what is your fix? What is your solution for it, or is it no hope and we just hoping our defense turns to 2000 Ravens?
Oh my God, that man said the most unimpressive. Okay, so I watched the first half. I got to go back and break down the second half of it because that's where you score most of your points. But just watching it in the first half, I didn't like it. Now don't get me wrong. I think Vaughn is the right choice, so I'm not going against that. I do think Vaughn is the right choice. I just haven't seen, the one thing about Alcorn is over the years I've watched it is y'all always had players that you like, oh man, who's that kid? Or who's that kid? Like you would always have one of those. Like I remember when I saw CJ Bowler. Is that his name? Or CJ?
Right. Yeah, correct. The
Man,
receiver, yeah.
when I first saw him, I was like, yo, who's that kid? Right? Like it was like you always like the kid that went crazy against Travis Hunter, Malachi. If that was that his name?
The receiver, I forgot his name, but he transferred in from Rutgers.
Yeah, like y'all always had those type of players. Like when you watching the film, you're like, damn, who's that? Damn, who's that? And I don't see that. That offensively, I don't see that, right? Like, I remember when I first saw, not the running back Javon, the one before, number 5, Nico. When I first saw Nico Duffy, I was like, damn, who's that? Montario Hunt, thank y'all, right? So, those are those gems that y'all would find and have, and you just be like, oh man, that kid's talented, or that kid's good, right? And it'll be like one of those situations like, man, if they just get this kid the ball, or they just have these guys, in the right positions, things can be special, right? Even Stafford Anderson, right? Like all those,
right.
Like guys, you always had guys like go-getters, like Bama's, you just be like, them bills can play, and I don't see that. That's the part of Alcorn that is missing, that you guys don't have that one of those star powers or hidden gems on Alcorn's offense, and I think you guys are trying to find that, or what you guys are now without Fred McNair and this new offense. Like, you don't have an identity because you don't have a running back, so it's not that ground and pound game or RPO game. So I think it's a lot of just trying to figure out what you guys are, and I'm gonna watch the second half of it to give you a better deep dive into it. But until you figure out what you truly are offensively, it's going to be a lot of mishmash stuff that you're just like, man, why are we doing this and why aren't we doing that? Or why are we doing this and why aren't we doing that? So I think it's going to be a tough season for y'all. I really do. But from what I hear from G, the players really gravitate towards Cedric. But the recruiting offensively has got to get better. It's got to get better, because
correct.
If you're telling me this is what you left, if you're telling me this is what you let McNair go for, then it ain't working, because offensively you're dead in the water. Y'all are nothing in offensively, and that's never been McNair's issue. Even with the quarterback changing and the running backs changing and all that, the 4 years I've been here, offense has not been a problem for Alcorn. maybe the play calling has. You get what I'm saying? Like
Play call.
the play calling's been bad, but the talent has never been bad, and now the talent is bad, right? So that's where the issue is for me. Defensively, yeah, y'all might have to be the 2000 Ravens, right? To where you're just like, hey man, don't throw no picks. But yeah, if I'm Alcorn fans, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna let Cedric slide on this year because it's his first year. But if that talent don't come back offensively, then we need to be talking about some other remedies, like for real.
Cool. I got one last
Yeah,
question.
go ahead,
Maybe
man.
you can or can't answer, and I'll get out your way. But you said Von is the right choice. Now, I want to know if that by default because you just don't think we have other option, or do you really think he can play? And also, I would guess that question would go for the rest of our players as well. Do you think? I mean, obviously you alluded to it. The talent is not there, but do you think the talent could be hidden per se because the offense play calling is still not there?
Nah, that's fair. And
the offensive play caller wasn't impressive to me this past Saturday. So could it be an issue that we may have talent there and the offensive play calling is not there? And also, is Von just the guy by default, or can he really play? And I'll get out your way, bro.
I think Von is by default. I listen, I've never been high on Mako, and I've said that for the past couple years. I've never been high on Mako. If you watch this film, it tells you everything you need to know about him. I think Von looks the part. He looks the part. He has the stature. He's competent, right? Like he's a competent quarterback. And once again, and this is why I say you got to give TC Taylor credit. He knows his quarterback they're not Shador. They're not, you could say Jason Brown because Jason Brown was more comfortable throwing the ball, but he knows they're not high level passers like with the quantity, right? Like 20, 30 attempts. So he protects them with the running game. Well, Alcorn's in a situation to where you don't even know what your quarterback is really good at because we haven't really seen the best version of Von, right? So you don't even know what he can and cannot do. And then on top of that, you have no running game to protect him. So it's really like, oh my God, like what do we do? So I think I agree with G when he said McNeese is the real test, right? Because we all know McNeese is not good, but we all know McNeese is a solid team. So it really is going to show you what you are in that game of, where we stand offensively and defensively and things like that. So I think McNeese is going to be a great barometer for you guys. But yeah, I think Von is by default, and going into it, you might have talent on that team that could surprise some people. Because a lot of that staff is still on the staff. Like, Coach Fred's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, people still know how to evaluate. People still know how to recruit. I just don't think it's coming together like they thought it would. So I'm going to be optimistic on it. But that McNeese game, I'm going to be locked in. I am seriously going to be locked in because that game right there is going to let me know, A, what your O-line looks like, B, what your quarterback looks like, and see what your play calling looks like. Those are the three things for Alcorn this year. And it's funny, it's all on the offensive side of the ball. What your O-line gonna look like, what your quarterback gonna look like, and what the play calling gonna look like. And that's gonna really determine what you're gonna get from Alcorn throughout the season. Because I think their defense is legit. I ain't gonna hold you. I think the defense is legit. So but with any defense, you only can do so much if you stay on the field too long. Yeah.
All right, well, I appreciate it, man. I just want to get your perspective on that. Keep doing your thing, bro.
Anytime, man. Appreciate the call. Let me say this. It's not about now, Alcorn fans will feel like they should beat McNeese. That's not what I want to be very clear, right? That's not what I'm looking for. It's like, let me say this. A perfect example. If Powell State would have came out and said, hey, we're just looking to see what our team is against ULM, I think that would have been a perfect segue to the ULM game, to where now you look at that game as a barometer and not saying we convincingly should win and we're the better team and we got 89 3-star. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you come into that game saying, hey, we're just trying to figure out what this team is and how good we can be. and we're going to compete, right? That's what you say. In the McNeese game, even though they're FCS program, you know you're limiting offensively. So you really want to see what you look like when the fire meets the rubber, because McNeese could beat 80% of the teams probably in the SWAC, right? So it's like, if you can compete against McNeese, 9 times out of 10, you should be able to compete in the SWAC. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those type of situations. So if you go into the game, if you lose the game 10, yeah, I know they beat Stephen F. Austin on a Hail Mary play or something like that, right? But if you go into the McNeese game and you lose 35-10, then you know you got a problem. But if you go into the McNeese game and you lose 24-35, you lose 21-31, you know, okay, we're getting this thing rolling, we're getting this thing, moving along. Now, like, once again, all Corn fans are going to feel like they should win out of conference games, but we all know SWAC fans don't hold out of conference games to a high standard. That's why Paho State schedules 2 SWAC teams with out of conference games. You get what I'm saying? So that just shows you how nobody really takes out of conference games seriously. Oh, I'll schedule my conference for my out of conference game. Duh. I'm killing them.
Oh, goddamn.
They ain't gonna see this one coming, right? So it's that, right? It's that. So that's why that game is so important to me. I gotta see what it looks like. I gotta see what Vaughn looks like. I gotta see what this O-line looks like. I gotta see what the pieces look like to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Period. So, oh, it's money games. Oh, business. We need money. All right, whatever. I just say whatever. I just say, I just say whatever. Play a Power 5 team. You won't need money games. You know what I'm saying? Play a Power 5 team. Y'all talking. See, this is the shit that kills me. So you'll talk about HBCU. You talk about SWAC school playing a Power 5 program and only scoring 9 points. They only scored 9 points. But y'all too weak to schedule it yourselves. Oh, we're doing it for business. Okay, they're doing it for business as well. But when they only score 9 points, it's a problem. But when you over here scheduling Sally, Deuce, and May, your conferences, your sisters in conference, your brothers and sisters in conference, I mean, that's not our problem. We're doing it for business opportunities, but they're doing it for business too. But they don't. But then y'all use it against them when they don't score points. But then when they tell you to schedule a Power 4 team, oh no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Oh no. Oh no. We don't need that. We don't need that much business. We just need a little business. So that's why we schedule. Miss me with it. Y'all always duck the smoke. Y'all always duck the smoke. It is what it is. Exactly. They always duck the smoke, right? It is what it is. So it is what it is. All right. Anywho, all right, listen, guys, that's my time. Listen, tonight, 7:30, Outspoken. You already know what it is. Me and my boy Perry, we breaking all the games down, all the matchups, and doing a preview to Week 4 as well. I look forward to Week 4. Listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.